Trump stops mid-sentence the moment Obama's voice cuts through the studio feed. It happens so fast that even the hosts don't understand what interrupted him. Trump's eyes shift toward the monitor above the cameras, the one showing the live split broadcast. The audience goes quiet. Obama isn't smiling. He isn't joking. He's holding a card in his hand, and he says in a calm voice that hits harder than shouting, "Let's clear up something tonight." Trump's mouth hangs open for half a second, and that half second is enough for the studio to sense something is wrong. The host closest to him lowers her cue card, as if bracing for whatever comes next. Trump's hand tightens on the edge of the desk. He tries to interrupt, but Obama doesn't pause. "Your height and your weight," Obama says. "The real numbers, not the ones your team keeps repeating." Trump's shoulders stiffen, his eyes blink too fast. He turns toward the hosts like he expects someone to stop the broadcast. No one does. The producer's voice is heard faintly from the control room shouting to keep both feeds live. The camera on Trump zooms slightly, catching the twitch in his jaw. Obama continues, holding the card higher. "These are the measurements recorded during your last official exam." Trump freezes. Not a single word escapes him. He reaches for his water, misses the cap, and the bottle tips before he grabs it again. That small slip becomes the moment the internet later replays in slow motion. The hosts lean back, not sure if they should intervene or let the confrontation explode. Obama reads the numbers. The studio gasps. Trump's face floods with tension, the kind that makes him look like he's swallowing something sharp. He doesn't speak. He doesn't even breathe loudly. His silence becomes louder than anything Obama says next, and the whole country feels the shift. The kind of shift that only happens when someone in power hears something they never expected to be said on air. Trump grips the table. The cameras catch everything. For the first time in the entire broadcast, he says nothing. The hosts try to regain control. One of them says, "Mr. President, would you like to respond?" But Trump doesn't hear the question. He's staring at the card on Obama's side of the split screen like it's a weapon. He shakes his head slightly, his throat tight. He keeps blinking, trying to break whatever spell the moment has on him. Obama holds the card still. "These were filed and verified," he says. "Nothing sensational, just basic truth." Trump finally manages a breath. "Those aren't," he starts, but his voice cracks and he stops speaking again. The host tries to hand him a new question card, but he waves it away. He stands, sits again, then leans forward, elbows on the desk like he's trying to shield himself from the number everyone just heard. Someone in the studio calls out to adjust the camera angle, but even the crew is shaken. No one wants to miss a frame. Trump rubs his hand over his face, and for a moment, he looks like he wants to disappear behind the desk. The tension in the room feels heavy enough to bend metal. Obama keeps talking. His tone almost gentle. But that's what makes it worse. You don't need to hide basic information. People respect honesty. Trump slams his hand flat on the desk. Not loud, but sharp. The host jumps. Trump whispers something under his breath, then points at the monitor like he wants it turned off. The control room refuses. Ratings are skyrocketing. The moment is too valuable to cut away from. Trump's jaw trembles. His eyes dart from the monitor to the cameras, then to the floor, then back to the monitor again. He's trapped in a triangle of angles he can't escape. Obama stops speaking and simply watches him through the feed. Trump looks as if he's staring straight into a mirror he never agreed to face. And for the first time that night, the panic becomes visible. Not loud, but tight, focused, impossible to hide. Trump tries again to speak, but the words fall apart before forming. The hosts start filling the silence, tossing out questions no one believes will be answered. The studio audience shifts uncomfortably, sensing the weight of what's unfolding. Even the lighting seems harsher now, highlighting every twitch across Trump's face. Obama, still on the screen, lowers the card, but keeps the camera on him steady. "The numbers aren't the point," he says. "The reaction is..." Trump flinches. Obama continues, "People exaggerate. People spin. But when you freeze like that, it tells the country something deeper." Trump's hand forms a fist on the table, but his voice refuses to come out. The hosts glance at each other, whispering off mic, wondering if they should cut to commercial. The control booth refuses again. No interruptions. Millions are watching. Millions more are clipping every second. Trump finally forces out a sentence. That's not accurate. But the sentence is weak, thin, barely there. He tries to straighten his shoulders, but the tension pulls him down. He tries to smile, but it looks wrong, stiff and strangely fragile. Obama doesn't smile. He doesn't blink. He simply says, "Then explain." Trump's lips part, then close again. His breathing gets louder. He reaches for his tie like it's suddenly too tight. The host nearest to him inches away, sensing the unraveling. Trump stares into the camera like he's pleading for anyone to intervene. But no one does. The numbers echo again in everyone's mind, not because of what they are, but because of how he reacted to them. Trump tries to change the subject, but the hosts circle back. The audience doesn't let their attention drift, and the freeze repeats on replay screens mounted across the studio. Trump pulls his chair closer to the desk, gripping the edge as if anchoring himself, but the anchor isn't enough. The moment has already slipped out of his control. Trump snaps. Not loudly, not dramatically, but in a tight, choked voice that sounds like it's cracking from inside. "Why are you even showing that?" he asks, pointing at Obama's feed. "Why is that allowed?" The hosts hesitate. They're instructed not to challenge him too aggressively, but tonight feels different. One of them says, "It's a live discussion. You agreed." Trump cuts her off. "I didn't agree to this." He gestures wildly, knocking over a stack of papers that scatter across the desk. His breathing grows heavier. The camera zoomed in, catch sweat forming across his forehead. He wipes it quickly, pretending it's nothing, but the tremble in his hand gives him away. Obama says calmly, "You can deny the numbers, but the nation just saw your reaction." Trump slams the desk again, harder this time. The audience gasps. The hosts freeze. Even the crew stops moving for a second. Trump points at the monitor again, practically demanding it be turned off. The control booth refuses. They know where this is heading, and they're letting it roll. Trump jabs a finger toward Obama's frozen feed. He doesn't know anything. "Those aren't real, they're fake. Totally fake. This is an attack." Obama raises an eyebrow. "They were submitted by your own physician." Trump swallows hard. The room hears it. He stands so fast his chair rolls backward several inches. He grabs the edge of the desk with both hands and leans in toward the camera. "I'm not answering anything while he's on that screen," he says. The host beside him whispers, "Please sit, Mr. President." Trump ignores her. His voice gets louder. "Take it down. Take it down right now." The control booth keeps the split screen live, and the meltdown deepens. Trump paces behind the desk, muttering to himself. The camera struggles to follow him. The hosts keep glancing toward producers for direction, but they're told to continue. The audience holds its breath as Trump stops pacing long enough to stare directly into the lens. "This is a setup," he says. "This whole thing is planned. He's out there reading nonsense. He's trying to embarrass me." Obama answers evenly, "I'm reading what your team filed." Trump shakes his head violently. "No, you were twisting it. You were twisting everything." He returns to his seat, then stands again, unable to settle. He reaches for his water, spills a few drops, curses under his breath, and tries again. The hosts attempt to redirect with a gentle question, but Trump refuses to listen. Obama asks, "Why does this bother you so much?" That single question pushes Trump over the edge. He steps forward, almost challenging the screen itself. "Because you're lying," he snaps. "And you know you're lying." Obama doesn't respond. He simply watches him. Calm, steady, unshaken. The contrast becomes glaring. Trump grabs the mic in front of him like he might yank it off the table, then thinks better of it. He releases it slowly, jaw tight, eyes narrow. The meltdown isn't explosive. It's controlled chaos. The kind that builds from the inside out. Trump tries to regain control, tries to breathe slow, tries to sit still, but his body betrays him. The freeze becomes tremors, the tremors become pacing, and the pacing becomes a full-blown unraveling. And Obama's silence only makes it worse. Trump tries one last time to reconstruct his composure. He sits, straightens his jacket, folds his hands on the table, and forces a smile that doesn't reach his eyes. "Let's move on," he says. "We've wasted enough time." But Obama says, "We haven't addressed the question." "Which question?" Trump snaps. "Why the reaction?" Trump's smile collapses. His hands tighten. The hosts lean back instinctively. Trump pushes back his chair again, stands and walks toward the audience seating, pacing as if searching for an escape route. He turns back toward the cameras with a glare. "You're obsessed," Trump says. "You're all obsessed with stupid details. You think height and weight matter? You think that's important?" Obama answers softly, "You think it is." Trump stops dead. The entire studio goes silent. The words hit harder than anything else that night. Trump opens his mouth, but nothing comes out. His breathing grows faster. He presses a hand to his forehead like he's dizzy. The host tried to intervene, but the meltdown has its own momentum now. Trump stumbles back toward the desk, gripping the edge for support. He looks at the camera again, eyes wide, pupils tight. The audience shifts uncomfortably. Someone whispers that he doesn't look well. He hears it. His head jerks toward the sound. Obama says, "Nobody is judging the numbers, but your reaction tells people more than the numbers ever could." Trump slams the desk so hard his mic cuts out for half a second. The hosts flinch. The studio air feels electric, unstable. Trump raises a shaking finger toward the monitor and shouts, "Turn him off." But the control booth leaves the split screen up, and that's the moment Trump reaches the breaking point. Trump's breathing becomes fast, shallow, almost panicked. He pulls at his jacket, as if trying to loosen something constricting his chest. He looks around the studio, searching for someone to blame, someone to shout at, someone to silence. "Turn it off," he yells again. The audience stares. The hosts freeze. Obama simply watches. Trump walks behind the desk again, stops, then slams both hands on the surface with a force that rattles the water bottle. Papers fall to the floor. The hosts instinctively move back in their chairs. Trump glares at them like they betrayed him personally. "You planned this," he says. "You let him come on here with fake numbers to humiliate me." One of the hosts finally speaks. "Mr. President, no one planned anything." Trump snaps back, louder. "Liar." The studio gasps. Trump points at the camera, then at the audience, then at the screen, unable to focus his rage on one target. "Everyone here is lying," he says. "Everyone. This whole show is a fraud. You are all trying to make me look weak." Obama answers calmly, "You made yourself look that way." Trump freezes. The words hit him like a blow. He shakes his head, eyes wide. "No. No. You don't get to say that." Obama holds his gaze through the screen. The silence between them stretches so long that even the cameras seem to hesitate. Trump finally erupts. "You don't know anything about strength," he shouts. "Nothing. You sit there acting like you're above everyone, reading nonsense numbers like some authority." Obama replies softly, "They're your numbers." Trump grabs the microphone again, lifts it, then slams it back down, causing a sharp electronic crackle through the speakers. The hosts jump. Someone in the audience covers their mouth. Trump's face turns red, then pale, then red again. He's unraveling in real time. "This is over," Trump shouts. "I'm done with this." He reaches for his notes, shoves them into a pile, knocks over his water bottle again, and nearly trips on the chair behind him. The audience gasps when he stumbles. He catches himself on the edge of the desk, breathing hard. Obama says one last thing. "If a simple truth causes all this, what will you do when something bigger comes?" Trump stares at the screen, trembling with rage he can't control, blinking like he doesn't recognize the person looking back at him, and the meltdown is complete. Trump grips the desk again, but his hands keep slipping, either from sweat or from the tremble he can no longer hide. He squeezes tighter, pressing down so hard the edge of the desk digs into his palms, but the pressure doesn't calm him. It only makes the panic inside grow sharper. He looks at the hosts, at the audience, at the cameras, at Obama's calm face on the screen, and every direction feels like a threat closing in. The room is too loud even though no one is talking. He lifts one hand and wipes his forehead, then wipes again, as if he can't get rid of something stuck to him. The hosts exchange worried looks, unsure if they're watching a political moment or a medical one. Trump tries to speak, but his voice comes out rough, almost broken, so he stops. He clears his throat hard, then harder, as if forcing the words back into shape. "You're not going to do this to me," he says, but the sentence shakes at the end. He tries to follow it with something stronger, but nothing comes. He sits for a moment, then stands again, pacing behind the desk with unsteady steps. His pacing is faster now, more frantic, like he's trying to outrun the moment itself. He presses his hand against the back of his neck, as if something there is burning. Obama stays silent, which somehow makes everything worse. Trump feels the silence pressing into him, filling every corner of the studio, every space between breaths. He looks back at Obama's face on the monitor and shouts, "Say something. Don't just sit there. Say something." His voice cracks again. He tries to cover it by raising his volume, but the strain behind every word shows. The audience sits frozen, unsure if they're allowed to react. Even the smallest cough feels too loud in the tension. Obama finally speaks. "I already said what needed to be said." Trump flinches again. "No, no, you don't get to decide that." He steps closer to the screen, pointing aggressively. You don't get to decide anything about me. Nothing. Obama stays calm. Your reaction is deciding everything for you. Trump's expression collapses. For a moment, he looks lost, genuinely unsure of what to do, unsure of how to take back control. He opens his mouth, but closes it again. His body leans forward like he wants to attack the monitor physically, but he stops himself. He steps back, breathing shallow, his eyes darting around the room again, looking for an exit. This is harassment, Trump says, his voice trembling. This is political harassment. You think you can embarrass me like this? You think you can just show up and... His voice catches again. He feels the weight of the cameras, the lights, the millions watching. That number doesn't matter, he says weakly. It doesn't matter. Obama raises a hand gently. Then why are you breaking apart over it? Trump's face twists with anger and humiliation. He shouts, I'm not breaking apart. He tries to deliver the line forcefully, but the tremble in his voice betrays him again. He looks down, sees his own hands shaking, and hides them behind his back. He looks away from the screen, away from the hosts, away from the cameras, away from anyone who might be reading his body language. The hosts finally speak up. Mr. President, would you like to take a moment? We can offer. No. Trump snaps. No breaks. No moments. I'm not weak. Obama's tone stays calm. Nobody called you weak. Trump laughs. An odd, shaky laugh, with no humor in it. You don't have to say it, you're making it obvious. He points at the card Obama held earlier. That card is a stunt. A trick. You're trying to make me look small. Obama replies. The numbers are not a stunt. Trump stares at him like he can't believe the simplicity of the sentence. His breathing becomes uneven again. The hosts glance nervously at the control room, unsure if they should intervene. The control room signals to stay on him. The moment is too big. Trump rubs his forehead again, then presses the back of his hand to his mouth like he's trying to hold something inside. You know what you're doing, Trump says finally. You're setting me up. You're trying to make me go off. You want a meltdown. His voice is quieter now, but the undercurrent is sharper, like a wire pulled tight. You're enjoying this. Obama shakes his head. I don't enjoy anyone struggling. Trump doesn't answer. He looks at the floor, then the desk, then the cameras again. His face twitches, a small involuntary movement that reveals more than he wants to. He pulls his jacket tight around him and takes a step back, then another. His posture shrinks, not physically, but emotionally, like the air has left him. He tries to steady himself against the back of his chair, gripping it so tightly the fabric wrinkles under his fingers. He sits again slowly. For a second he looks almost calm, like he's forcing himself into stillness. But the moment he rests his hands on the desk, the tremble returns, traveling up his arms. He clenches his jaw, he leans close to the mic. Change the screen, he whispers, please. The word please surprises even the hosts. Trump rarely says it. It hangs in the air like something fragile. The control room refuses. Trump hears the silence and realizes it. His face contorts again. He slams his fist on the desk, causing a sharp echo across the studio. He stands up again so fast the chair tips backward and crashes onto the floor. The audience gasps. Trump turns around, sees the fallen chair, and kicks it out of the way. His breathing is loud now, audible through the microphones. He points directly at one of the hosts. You set me up, he shouts. This whole thing is a trap. The host raises her hands, panicked. No, absolutely not. You're lying, Trump yells. You're part of it. You're all part of it. Obama watches quietly, his expression unreadable. The contrast between the two screens becomes impossible to ignore. One man unraveling, the other steady. Trump paces again, faster than before. Like the floor itself is unstable. He wipes his face again and again. His voice shakes even as he tries to raise it. You think this hurts me? It doesn't hurt me. Nothing hurts me. I'm fine. I'm totally fine. But the room knows he's not fine. He stops pacing and turns toward the monitor with a wild look in his eyes. You did this on purpose, he says to Obama. You planned it. You and the network. You want me to look weak. Obama shakes his head again. Nobody wants that. Yes you do, Trump shouts. You want to humiliate me. The hosts flinch at the volume. The crew watches silently, frozen behind cameras. Trump moves closer to the screen, almost nose to screen distance. Read something about yourself, he snarls. See how you like it. See how you react when someone lies about you. Obama replies, nothing I read about myself ever made me react like this. Trump freezes. The studio goes dead silent again. The sentence lands like a weight. Trump steps back, breathing hard, his mouth slightly open, unable to respond. The hosts watch him carefully, unsure if he's about to explode again or collapse entirely. Trump finally whispers, "You're trying to destroy me." Obama responds softly, "You're destroying yourself." Trump grabs the water bottle again, but the shaking makes it hard for him to twist the cap. He drops it, water spills across the floor. One of the hosts moves to help, but Trump snaps, "Don't touch it." He turns, slips slightly in the water, steadies himself awkwardly, and wipes his palms on his jacket. His breathing is still uneven, but now there's something else. Fear. Not rage, not bluster, but fear he can't hide. "Take him off the screen," he says again, softer this time. "I don't want to see him." The control room holds the split screen. Trump closes his eyes tight, like he's trying to block out the entire moment with pure force of will. But when he opens them again, the camera angle shows the fear rising behind his expression, and he knows it. He feels it, and he breaks again. "This is unfair," Trump says. "All of it. You're making me look ridiculous." Obama answers, "You're reacting to the truth." Trump stares at the screen with a blank, almost stunned expression. He seems to forget where he is for a moment. His hands hover near the desk, unsure whether to grip, push, or strike. He lowers himself into the chair again, slowly, like he's exhausted. His voice is quieter when he speaks next. "You don't understand. You don't know what it's like to have everyone watching you. Everyone judging everything you do." Obama responds, "Everyone sees what you show them." Trump looks away. His jaw tightens, loosens, tightens again. He can't decide whether to fight or flee. His breathing is slow now, but too slow, like he's holding back a panic attack with sheer force. "You shouldn't have read that," Trump says softly. "You shouldn't have done that." Obama replies, "It was just numbers." Trump shakes his head. "No, it wasn't. It was an attack." Obama says nothing. His silence becomes a mirror. Trump slowly leans forward, placing both hands on the desk. His voice steadies just enough to speak clearly. "Turn the cameras off." No one moves. "I said turn them off." Still nothing. The power dynamic shifts, not because Obama said anything new, but because Trump realizes the room is not obeying him anymore. The producers, the hosts, the crew, the audience. Everyone is watching him, but not following him. And Trump's face shows the instant he realizes it. He whispers, "Oh God." Then louder, "Turn them off." He slams the desk again, but the sound no longer carries power. It sounds desperate, weak, uncontrolled. He stands again, running a hand through his hair, pacing, muttering words that don't form sentences. The hosts look at each other, unsure whether to intervene or call medical staff. Then Trump stops pacing and looks directly into the closest camera. "You won't get away with this," he says, voice trembling. "None of you will." The threat sounds hollow. It echoes through the studio like a broken note. Obama stays silent. Trump grips the edge of the desk again, swallowing hard, trying to pull himself back together, but he can't. The moment is too big, the pressure too sharp, the humiliation too raw. His voice breaks as he says, barely audible, "End the show." But the show doesn't end, and Trump knows it's the worst moment of his life on camera.